Welcome to the Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on our Facebook page. I'm your host, Ed Nunez, along with our producer, Alden Iwani. Our very special guest today, Bernalillo girls head coach Ashley Duran. Her Spartans are off to a 13-0 start, and they'll face off against the Santa Fe Demons tonight in Bernalillo. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No, Coach, we got a lot to talk about here. Your team is off. I saw the story in the paper. We'll get to that a little bit, but a 13-0 start is impressive. And you're starting to get to the district part of your schedule. And Coach, you got a lot of experience, man. You're an assistant under under Terry Darnell, and I laugh because I love him. You know,
Yeah.
um, but you learned a lot. You come from a basketball background. Bernalillo, when you mentioned Bernalillo Spartan, to be a Bernalillo Spartan, you're a Bernalillo Spartan, man, and you're a proud Bernalillo Spartan. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, wins against Manzano, Moriarty, Grants, Santa Fe Indian. You won the Alice King tournament,
Mhm.
which is always impressive. I used to love to referee out there, man. You beat Goddard, Belen, Espanola Valley, Rio Grande, and Atrisco Heritage. My friend Rich Harbin coaching there. He's having a tough time, but he's trying. And
Yeah.
Bloomfield and El Dorado tonight against Santa Fe. Tell us about your start here. It's got to be exciting.
Yeah, it's been very exciting. We expected to have a good season. Never expected to be 13-0. The girls are playing really tough. They're just, there are so many close games that they've just kind of pulled together and learned how to win this season. We lost a lot of close ones last year at the beginning of the season because we didn't know how to win. We didn't know how to finish the game. And right now they're just playing solid like a team.
You've got to be. You've had a few a close game against Roswell, Santa Fe Indian, which is an impressive. Anytime you beat them,
Right.
a close game against Grants. So you've had some close games here, and I think to your point about close game against El Dorado and 13-0 is impressive. But when you mention not knowing how to win, tell everybody what you mean by that. I know what you mean. I've been there.
Yeah.
I know. Sometimes you just don't make those right decisions. Tell us how you came to be the head coach there. You were an assistant under Coach Terry Darnell for years
Right.
there with Isaac Dozell, the former
Mhm.
Bernalillo boys head coach. Tell us how you came to be the head girls coach there. I think it was Coach Aragon there for a while. Coach,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Coach Otagon. Well, the position opened up and it was hard. It was a hard decision for me to make because I always thought going from boys basketball to girls basketball, I didn't want to slow the pace of coaching. So my mentality going in for the interview even was I don't want it to be boring basketball. So many people want to say like, I don't want to go watch girls basketball. We wanted to make it fun, like run and gun, good old Spartan basketball. Um, and so I there was some good candidates that were applying for the position. I wasn't sure if it was going to go to me or not. And we went in knowing we were going to have some strong talent coming in, and ended up with some unexpected talent too. So 4-year goal was to be in the state tournament, state championship, hopefully, and I feel like we're about a year ahead of pace right now. So.
got to be happy about that. I think was Coach Harge involved in the hiring? Was he the one that hired you?
You know what? It was right after Coach, or right before Coach Harge got here. So, um, he's been a big mentor for me now, but um, it wasn't necessarily part of the hiring process.
Yeah, Coach Harge winning 4 championships at Pecos as the head coach there. Also won a
Right.
championship as a player at St. Pius back in the day in 1982. Um, I got to tell you a funny story too, because I know both Ira and Joey, his brother,
Yeah.
very well. Joe played at Oregon State with Gary Payton, and we were upstairs watching years ago when Ira won, and Joe was up there behind us at ProView, and he's like, Ira, what the heck are you? He didn't use heck. What are you doing, Ira? It's so funny, And Ira, he figured it out. That's a brother, though. Seeing
Right.
something as Coach Darnell, Terry Darnell, and you've got your uncle Andy coaching with you too, I believe.
Exactly.
He's
Yep.
your assistant. It's a family affair, man. It's a
Yeah.
family affair, and only families. can understand that. But I got a quote from Coach Harge from about you. Ashley Duran is as tenacious a coach as she was as a player and as a businesswoman. Cancer didn't have a chance against her. She went to chemotherapy and then to practice radiation, which was in Phoenix, and then flew back for her games. This is why she's having the success that she's having. Ashley has a hardworking attitude, but more importantly, she has Spartan pride. Ashley Duran cares deeply about everything she's involved in. Kudos to her and continued success to her, both on and off the court. So, a quote from Coach Hart about you.
Pretty
I
awesome.
thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Tell us about playing for Bernalillo. You played there?
Yeah, I played here at Bernalillo. My freshman year was probably our best season we had. I kind of teased the coach from Grants now, Jesse, because she ended my freshman year with a game-winning three-point shot. But that was the year I played with my sister. My sister was a senior at the time. Um, we were a solid team that year. We just one shot away from making it to the state tournament. I think back then it was like the top 8 teams went to state. Um, so a little more difficult to get in. But then we moved up, moved classes like my sophomore year, and we were always competitive, just never, never extremely, never made it to the state tournament, or I should say, never played on the pit floor.
And that's always a goal for every player, to make the
Exactly.
board. And Bernalillo is certainly on the way to going there. What was it that got you involved in being an assistant with your uncle Terry, who won 2 state championships there, won as a
Right.
player, as a legend. He's a legend in Bernalillo. There's no doubt about it. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. So what was it that led you to want to coach with Coach Darnell?
I mean, growing up, Spartan basketball has been my entire life. I would be at the gym as a little kid here with Terry, setting up for games or being here waiting after games for him, cleaning up the gym. It was just like it was always our thing. Christmas, Thanksgiving, like the whole family comes to the gym and we play basketball against each other. So it's to me, it was always just ingrained in my mind. Like that's what I wanted to do. Like Terry was such an idol for me, still is an idol for me. Just wanted to be like him. So even in my interview, I laughed because they asked how long I expect to stay at Bernalillo. And I said, well, Terry stayed here for 29 years as head coach, so I have to beat him, 30 years. Um, I don't know if it'll be 30 years, but, that's just the competitive nature of our family. Like you know, I I want to be so much like Terry, except for yelling at the refs. But I do just, he was an amazing coach, and I run my program just like Terry ran his. So,
Let me ask you a question. When he had you, and it's there are female assistants with boys programs.
yeah,
Uh, Bree Rohde was an assistant under Alvin Broussard, and
right.
she's the head coach of St. Pius. And Bree is an amazing mind. I love Bree, man. Bree is, God, she's ultra competitive, just like your family. Bree, man, still works out,
Yeah,
lunges, plyometrics. I'm like, girl, what are you doing, man? That girl
exactly.
herself in top shape. But it's a sell for some guy. You don't see a lot of women assistants, right? You don't.
Right, right.
What was the sell there? I mean, you're part of the Spartan family, though. Was it a
Yeah,
hard transition to coach? Because some guys, how good some guys are.
yeah,
There's a girl coach. What does she know? They barely sometimes listen to male coaches. Tell us about
yeah.
that experience being an assistant with Terry and then Isaac Dozell.
Yeah, it was there were definitely seasons where it was challenging. But for the most part, I think, I'm the type of coach that would get out there on the court with the guys and show them that like I didn't just know basketball, I could play basketball too. Um, and I gained respect real quick from them. It was never a difficult thing. Like I never felt like, oh, I'm just the female coach here. Like I always had the respect for the boys. And so, there were some assistant coaches maybe at times that didn't necessarily trust everything I had to say, but they learned quick. Like, hey, the apple didn't fall far from the tree with Terry. Like we have that same coaching mindset. Um, we want to. It doesn't matter how tall or how short our team is. Like we're gonna run. We're gonna try to outrun every person on the court. And so, it's there's times where it was challenging, but for the most part, we got through it. And I mean, I still have boys come up to me all the time and like, "Hey, coach," and still treat me with the same respect they did on the court. So
I know. I think you mentioned and learning under a mentor, and you mentioned about yelling at refs. I mean, uh, and you know what? He's passionate. I never
yeah,
took that personally. I just
right,
talked to him, a little while ago, and we just laughed, man. I mean, that was him. There's some of the officials got to, they may have had, but he's a passionate guy. Coach Joe Coleman was the
right,
same way, man. The game
exactly,
start, Coach Coleman's face would turn red. But you know what? Same thing with him. Joe and I are friends today. I'm friends with your uncle. Much
right,
respect. That's the way it
yeah,
was, man. I never took that personally. Like somebody said something personal, and then nobody really ever did. This the heat of the game. So it
right,
seems like you learn quite a bit in that coaching tree. And then you
yeah,
grew up. We mentioned about Spartan basketball, man. I told you my
yeah,
experiences when I was younger at Spartan Alley. I'll never forget it. Never.
right,
My older brother playing for St. Pius, and that's you didn't see Coach Sanchez because you were a little young, but you heard about him.
right,
You heard
exactly,
about the effect he had. Coach Clarence Griego took
right,
Bernalillo to it. Clarence was man. Clarence another one, right? Clarence has his own way of coaching, man. Much respect to him.
exactly,
Clarence is hard nosed. You know where he stood. He didn't pull any punches.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean Gary Gutierrez coached there at Bernalillo. So you're part of the family as far
right,
as like Coach Hart said, a Spartan, man. What
yeah,
is it? He's a Sartan, right? But he's
yeah,
ingrained in that community now.
exactly,
All the respect in the world for Ira. So it sounds like your experience with Coach Dozella and Coach Darnell got you ready for what you're doing now, 13-0,
exactly,
and now the fun starts, right? The district starts.
right, yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned the keys to you got some talent that was unexpected. Can you tell us about your roster a little bit?
Yeah, well, we have Trinity Calabasa and we have Samaria Brown, who are just our twin towers, right? They're both about.
Coach, can we get on the other side? I gotta take a break, and when we come back, we'll
Yeah,
talk more about your roster after
of
these
course,
messages on the sports desk.
of course.
They fold up the court. Santi Steven feeds Decker. Decker feeds the baskets. Blake's on him. Steps up for the tie. He's got it. Dylan Lansing, 29 points.
Livingston Volcano to one shot. When that now the defense Tennessee's picking up and watch out. Showtime.
Boom! Goes David Lund.
In the Blues by 1 or 2, I believe, at the end. But it was a packed gym that night to watch these Rams.
On a lob upstairs, it's showtime early. It's Bynum to Richardson. It.
On the double, out to Brent. Wow! For 3! Rips the cords! Sachivi! 11-12 games on their schedule. Not the Rams. Ahead of the pack to Moomin. Omer with a two-hand hammer!
That got the fans going right now.
By Kyle Lee. He's got Lund behind him though, and David Lund steals it right back away. He's got Kanigsberg in front of him, and
David Lund with the hammer.
Last key. 1, 2. Here it is.
gotta get it up for the lead.
Yeah.
He's buried it! Christopher Justice from the Rams Athletic Center logo. They're able to get through it. Marcos Chavez back into it and loses that ball. BJ Branzer tried to pass it. some Globetrotter stuff right there.
Richardson's man, let him go.
Here we go. Richardson working downhill. Drives, gathers, scores! Oh, what a big time bucket! Lund, it'll count if it goes. It's no good! And the Rio Rancho Rams win it on a Caden Richardson layup.
Like, we're 8-0, we're only 8 games in, and this team's going to get better. That's the fun part.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744. Granite Passion are proud supporters of ProView Sports. They're located at 1309 12th Street Northwest. They're your one-stop shop for granite, quartzite marble, quartz, and install. Most jobs are completed in a single day. Give them a call at 505-242-1007. That's 505-242-1007. Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Hi folks, Morley Fletcher here, owner of Santa Fe Kia. You know, at Santa Fe Kia, we like the byline of Santa Fe Kia is where we treat you different. Some reasons why. I'm remodeling our facility to make it better for our customers. Our salespeople treat people with respect and the way they'd like to come and purchase a vehicle. That's why at Santa Fe Kia, it's where we treat you different.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on our Facebook page. I'm your host, Ed Nunez. Our very special guest today, Bernalillo girls head coach Ashley Duran. Her Spartans are 13-0, and they'll take on the Santa Fe Demons tonight in Bernalillo. Demons are 8-3, coached by Nate Moore. Should be a good one. Coach, before we broke, we were talking about your roster. And you've got Kalani Troncosa averaging 8 points a game. Gabriela Dominguez, 6.3. Estrella Garcia, 3.4 points per game, 3.4 rebounds, 2.2 steals. Samaria Brown, 11 points and 8 rebounds. I looked at that. I'm like, hey, man, that's pulling down some class.
Right.
1.5 steals per game. Ella Darnell, I'm sure a family member, 2.1 points per game. Jillian Lovato, 8.7 points per game, 1.2, or 19 threes. She's your leading three-point shooter. Rayanne Downing, 2.6 points per game. And Trinity Calabasa at 11 points per game, also at 8.2 rebounds. So you got some posts giving you some good work in there. Tell us a little bit about your roster.
Yeah, so we got our Twin Towers, Trinity Calabasa and Samaria Brown. They just control the paint for us. You know, we talk so much about paint touches this year. If we don't have a fast break, we want to touch the paint. And we have the height there with them. The great thing is our shooters haven't been amazing right now, and their potential is so high. So, you know, we're hoping that come district time and stuff, when we start seeing some more height, that we'll be able to kick the ball outside to our shooters as well. Kaylani Trancoso, she goes by Star. Jillian Lovato, Gabby Dominguez, all of them can shoot. Estrella Garcia, Rayanne Downing. You know, we were just talking about it yesterday at practice. Like, our shooting hasn't been great, and we're still winning. So, you know, we just got to keep working. We have a solid team right now. You know, I don't have a set 5 starters because it just depends on who we're playing. If we're going speed wise, if we're going muscle wise, if we're going height, we kind of adjust accordingly. So it's kind of a nice problem to have.
You know what? Mix and match lineups like that. In the shooting, you mentioned um, district tightens up a little bit. We
Yeah,
know that, right? District games are
right.
a little bit different. Um, I've got another quote from someone here. Ashley's a great coach, forging her own path as a coach and having success. She was an assistant on my staff for about 14 years and was a huge part of our success in developing players for us. There's no one I know other than my dad, Charles Darnell, her grandpa, who cares more about the Bernalillo and surrounding communities than Ashley. She is, has been, and always will be a Spartan through and through. Love you, Tola. And that's
From
from Terry Darnell. I thought that was a great. I love Terry, man. I hadn't talked to him in a
yeah,
while. And, like I said, we may have had some disagreements, but never anything. I told you during the game, before the game, what's up, Ed? And during the
right.
game, Ed, we got to help us out, Ed. And but I, after the game, what's up, man? No, never, not ever. Much in
Yeah,
fact, he worked the game with me as my color commentator a couple of years ago. He
yeah,
did a good job. He did a really good job. Coach, I think it's no secret to everybody. You got a journey you're going through.
right.
We wanted to talk about that. I asked you if we could share that,
Yeah,
and and you wanted to share that with you to
sure.
share that with our audience. Go ahead.
Yeah, so April of last year, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. So kind of misdiagnosed here. I was diagnosed with it here in Albuquerque, but ended up going to Mayo Clinic for a second opinion and was diagnosed with stage 3 invasive ductal carcinoma. It had spread to lymph nodes, it had spread to my chest bone. And it was quick. Like, I think that was April 23rd that I had that appointment, and I started chemo April 30th. Lost my hair really quick. Uh, it's growing back now. I tease my uncles and I say, "Man, I was the baldest coach on the staff for a while, but now I have them beat with hair again." So, um, I went through 6 rounds of really aggressive chemo. Um, it was difficult. I've had surgery. I've gone through radiation. Radiation was right at the beginning of the season, so I was out at Mayo Clinic in Arizona. My uncle Andy was kind of running practice for me. I would go out um, for a couple days at a time. Radiation was Monday through Friday, but I would be out there, fly home game days, fly right back the next morning for radiation. So it was a lot of traveling, but got through it. Radiation is done. I have 9 more rounds of chemo left. So still going through treatment. Right now, they're saying they don't do a lot of tests with breast cancer to see if you're cancer free, but they say that there's no evidence of disease currently. So everything I'm going through now, the remaining 9 chemos, is just preventative stuff to prevent it from coming back. So it's been a journey. It's been a crazy one.
You're doing better. You're still coaching, right? I mean, you want to
Oh
make
yeah.
sure you're fighting this. The other thing you mentioned is your husband. He suffered 2 torn Achilles or 2
No,
heel
he
breaks
shattered both his heel bones.
off a
He,
ladder. Right?
yeah, fell
Correct.
off the roof and shattered both his heels. So,
So you're going through that challenge, and then you have a 4-year-old son, and you say you let him know what he needs to know.
mhm.
If I'm right,
Yeah,
you tell us a little bit about that challenge. And Coach, much admiration and respect for you. You're
yeah,
still doing what you're doing, but tell us a little bit about that challenge. I mean, because you got a little one, and you want to you don't want him to be scared, and you want to be honest here too as well.
yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, we just try to be open with him. Very open with, hey, like, mom has cancer. She's gonna be tired. She's gonna, not have the energy like she used to. She's gonna lose her hair. So, um, when I lost my hair, we actually had a little community event here in Bernalillo and expected about 12 people to shave their heads. And we had 67 people come out and shave their heads that day with us at a local barbershop. My son, he shaves his head and he kept his head shaved the entire time I was bald. He was like, I want to look like my mom, and kept his head shaved. And, of course, he doesn't understand the full extent of everything, but the sweetest kid in the world. Like, he just knows, like, hey, mom's tired today. Like, we're gonna take it easy. And he'll just lay with me on the couch and stuff. Even here at practice, there's not a lot of days that I'm as active as I used to be on the court, but I'm there every single day. So sitting there yelling from the bench, maybe. And now, if you see me coaching in the games, you don't know I have cancer because I'm crazy and yelling and jumping all over the place. But it's a process. Just as much as my family's gotten me through this, my team, right? And my team will forever be my family. These girls have carried me through this, have supported me, I bought a bunch of wigs right before I went bald, and they embraced me being bald and just kind of pushed me to, hey, it didn't matter, if I didn't have hair, I was still the same coach. So, I think I shared with you our motto this season was Coach Ash isn't going to beat cancer just for us to have a losing season. So we've really, just pushed on that this year is like, for coach. They have that on their shoes. They got custom shoes made and put that on their shoes, Coach Ash. And it's just amazing the support these girls have given me and my family.
It's each season takes on a different challenge. I think we talked about that. Each season is pockmarked with different challenges.
Right.
This one here, you couldn't have predicted. You couldn't have predicted. You fought it. You're fighting it, and the support. So every night, the pink, cancer awareness takes on a little bit different meaning. Saw a picture there of the support. Again, you're a Spartan, man. You're a Spartan in that community, and the support you're receiving from that community, it has to help. There's a part of course, cancer needs to be treated, but the emotional part, right? The emotional part, and then your husband, who's a huge support. You're having to support him, right? And so nobody could have predicted that. I mean, and your husband, I'm sure, a strong man, will be back on his feet. He will be,
Yes.
Right. So, and then, you have a son to tend to, but I think all those things considered, you to the support. I saw the pictures, and, I'm sure Coach Harch, a big support, and the community, and you feel their embrace, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. And not just, the town of Bernalillo itself, but so many coaches out there. Like we just hosted a holiday tournament this weekend, and every single coach came up to me and like, hey coach, we're praying for you. Like, if we can do anything, Coach Bree at Pius, like if I can come help you with practice or anything, like, the coach at Moriarty, Coach Jana, she has, since I got diagnosed, I mean, she reaches out constantly to just make sure if there's anything they can do for me. Coach Gonzalez at Del Norte, Coach Reyes at Valley, Skarsgård at Academy, like, all these coaches are just constantly reaching out. I never knew I would have the support I do from everyone. The officials, came out with pink whistles the other day, and they're like, this is for you, coach. And it means a lot. I can't even put into words how much it means to me and my family and, our team, everybody.
That'll mean something. Got about a half minute left, Coach. What do you see, the rest of the season? What's going to take for Bernalillo to get to that state tournament? You're off to a great start. And now the work begins, right? The work begins.
Exactly.
Tell us about half a minute what Bernalillo needs to do.
We really gotta take it serious in district. We have Academy and Hope. Both are going to be tough teams to beat. So, our goals are to at least come out even with them, split it 1-1. Hopefully come out ahead of one of the two programs. But, we have a solid district. So we just got to keep pushing, got to keep our community support, and just keep believing in ourselves.
Bernalillo girls head coach Ashley Duran, we sure appreciate you joining us. We wish you well on your journey.
Thank you so much.
Wish you good luck tonight against Santa Fe and Nate Morris. Make sure you tell him give him a little chicken wing for me, man. That guy used to tackle me when I was going in for layups, man.
Yeah.
I still got bruises from that guy, man. But I love Nate. He's a good guy. So, Coach, once again, thanks so much for joining us. God bless you, and we'll see you down the line.
Thank you so much, Ed.
You bet. For producer Alden Iwani, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next week on the Sports Desk.